I think that our elders, they really need someone to watch over them once they get a certain age. Medically wise, they don't understand the difference of the help that's out there in the community to help them, give them advice for like even medication, doctors, or their insurance. They're even confused a lot about their insurance, their own insurance, Medicare, Blue Cross, Aetna. They really don't know what it all entails. Well, I've seen a lot of families that are the sons or daughters are really taking advantage of the parents as they get older. You know, we are supposed to be there to help our elders, and I see a lot of the sons and daughters really taking advantage of their mothers and fathers financially. Supposed to be looking over their finances, but instead of looking over their finances, they're helping themselves to the pot and leaving their loved ones destitute, put out of their places, evicted. So I had an uncle and aunt that I loved dearly. My uncle was an AC Transit bus driver for 30 years. My aunt was retired from back then Pacific Bell, now known AT&T. And once my aunt passed, my uncle really just went into a Great Depression. And me overseeing him and taking good care of him, I was able to step in and kind of intervene because a church was trying to come in and take hold of all of his assets. Well, this specific church, when my aunt had passed, my uncle, I specifically got everything in line for him. I got him a trust started. I got all of his finances, financial stuff aligned. Well, what happened was the church tried to come in, take me off of his trust. They just started to brainwash him to say that I was the bad person. They were the good person going to take care of him. And they just started to just try to take over everything and get me off the property. Well, first of all, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that a church that my uncle and aunt had been involved with for 20 years, that this is what they were trying to do. I had to actually go to the Contra Costa courthouse and get a restraining order on the church. So the judge had told me that he had never seen so many restraining orders on one church. So I actually had at least 15, including the pastor. Well, the thing that really bothers me is that a lot of our seniors are not aware. They understand the process and their rights of what they can do far as dealing with their own finances. But what happens is I see a lot of folks that come in and just scam them and I wouldn't say cheating them, but it really is, that's what it is. They're really extorting them out of their monies and their homes, tricking them to turning over everything to them, that they're going to help them, that they're going to be the ones to take care of them. But in the end, they end up evicted, sick, evicted, and on the street. Well, my best advice I can give to anyone is to really be involved with your family member. Know what's going on. Know who and what whom they are talking to. Because a lot of times we take care of our families from the outside looking in. Get more involved. Know who is talking to your mother. Know who is talking to your father. If they say that they got a phone call from someone that they didn't know, research it. I mean, don't just blow it off like it's nothing, because a lot of these people are really scamming and coming in and taking advantage of our elders. So I say the best advice I can give to anyone is really get involved with your mother, father, or whoever the elderly person is that you're taking care of. Well, Adult Protective Services is a county entity that is geared towards helping our seniors, protecting our seniors. So it is Adult Protective Services that will come in if there's a complaint made on one of our elders. Say a social worker goes into a home and they see the house is junky and not being taken care of, or the elder is not eating, then that is the proper place to go to make that complaint. And then APS, Adult Protection Services, will then send a social worker out to investigate to see what's going on with that senior. Being a nurse, I really didn't understand what was taking place at that time. I really tried to give my uncle the lead that he really knew what he was doing. But as I investigated more of what the church was doing, I found out that they had already embezzled $30,000 from him right off the top. So that's when I took action and called APS and got the law enforcement involved with it. Because then there is criminal charges that can be brought on, because he was dementia and they took advantage of him. So after I found out that the pastor actually embezzled the $30,000 out of my uncle, I then found out that other members of the church had had him co-sign for a car. They had came over and got, another member came over and got $15,000 for some work done on his home. And so it just continued, I just continued to investigate and unravel large sums of money that they had embezzled from him. Well, the takeaway is that I believe that we as relatives or citizens out here, we really need to be an advocate for our elders. I mean, we all can say what we want to do, but I think we really need to take action and get more involved. If we see something happening with our elders that we don't think that it is right going on, be the first one to speak up. I say that because I really feel bad, sometimes guilty, because I didn't step in there with my uncle sooner, which I should have. And I let these folks come in and take stuff from him that I could have prevented. So I think that if you see something and you think that it's not right, and you think that you have an idea but you're not sure, call APS. Call Adult Protective Services and let them go in and do an investigation and see what's going on. Maybe it's nothing, but at least your heart will be at rest that you did do something and you just didn't sit in the outskirts looking in the window, wishing that you had and there was something going on.